Hi everyone! Welcome to your first class. If you have worked with After Effects before and you know how it works, you can go directly to Lesson 5. If it is the first time that you open the program, don't worry. We will focus on the essential parts to follow the course easily. We will work with the standard workspace, but you can choose the option you prefer. The interface may vary depending on the version of After Effects you're working with. We are working with the version 2020. To create an animation, first we need to create a new composition. We go to Composition and select New Composition. We can also create compositions by clicking on this box or this symbol right here. Now we need to name the composition and configure it. We will use a 1920 by 1080 resolution. We set the frame rate to 24 frames per second. Make the composition last 5 seconds and click on the OK button. To save the project, go to File and select Save. Find the location, name the file, and save. And we can start creating. Now let's create a shape layer, a square for example. The panel where you see the square is the viewport, the most extensive panel of all. This panel is where we will see the results of our designs and animations. We can also set the size of the window and the image quality with which we want to work. The higher the quality, the slower the animation will be processed. By default, and until we create a background element, it appears in black. We can change the color from Composition and select Composition Settings. If we click here, we can see the transparency grid. We can also change the size of the panels by clicking and dragging. Very simple. Now, let's take a closer look at the timeline panel. This panel is where we will spend more time creating our animations. Notice that when creating the shape layer, it has automatically appeared in the timeline. We can also modify the duration of the work area, as well as zoom in by clicking and dragging here. Besides, you can change the menu controls by clicking the button here. As you can see, the composition that we created at the beginning appears in the project panel. This is where all the compositions that we create and all the files that we import will appear. When importing files, we must press 2 times on the panel or go to File, select Import File, and then select the desired file and import. If we are going to import a layered file from Illustrator or Photoshop, in the Import As option, we must select Composition Retain Layer Sizes. As you can see, a new composition appears with the name of the Illustrator file, and there is also a folder. The layers are located inside this folder. We can create folders by clicking here. Name them and drag the files inside. If we look to the right, we find the Effects and Presets panel. These panels will allow you to navigate through an extensive library of effects. During the course, you will learn how to apply them. If this panel does not appear on the screen, go to Window and select Effects and Presets. You can also search for the effects through the Effects window located in the main menu. At the top, we can find the most used tools. Let's have a quick look at the tools we are going to use during this course. The Selection tool allows you to select and move the elements as well as modify their size. If we keep the Shift key pressed while adjusting the size, we will keep the proportions intact. The Hand tool allows you to move within the composition panel. The zoom tool allows you to zoom in or out. If we click, we zoom in, and if we click while holding down the Alt key, we zoom out. And this one is the rotation tool. It allows us to rotate objects around their anchor points. We can change the location of the anchor point thanks to the pan behind tool. Select and delete the square that we had created. Using this tool, we will be able to create geometric shape layers such as rectangles, ellipses, and all kinds of polygons. Each shape layer has its own set of settings. From the timeline, we can configure its options. These will vary from one shape layer to another. Take your time and play with them to see how they work. We can also change the color of the fill and the stroke. As well as the stroke size. We can activate or deactivate it by clicking on the letter I here. We can change these same options from here above. Now, I want to tell you the difference between creating a shape layer and creating a layer mask. I'm going to import a photo and drag it into the composition. If we create a shape with the layer selected, automatically a mask is created on it. In other words, we can only see the part of the photograph that is inside the mask that we have created. We can also invert the mask by clicking here. Let's go back with Ctrl Z or Command Z on Mac or just deleting the mask. Conversely, if we create a shape without having any layer selected, a shape layer is created. We can even copy colors very easily. From the color configuration, select the eyedropper tool. And by clicking on any color, we can quickly copy it. Very useful if we want to copy the color of a design or photograph. I forgot to comment that we can drag the elements located in the project panel inside the compositions in two ways. One is by dragging the elements directly to the project panel, and the other is dragging them within the timeline. We can also place the layers easily. And with this, it will be enough to start seeing more fun things. In the next lesson, we will make an introduction to the animation in After Effects. See you there!